All right, Lights, Camera, Barstool, movie, TV news rundown here. Jeff D. Lowe, Ken Jack, Gooch, coming at you. A lot of trailers dropping midweek here. Recording this on August 30th, 2023. Some big ones for some big names, too. David Fincher, Michael Mann, Emerald Fennell, who is doing a project that I didn't even realize that I got to mention. I did not realize she was part of it. And then the most ridiculous news to come out of it. Well, that's actually not true because every week there's a brand new ridiculous streaming service piece of news. But this is up there with one of the dumbest. Let's start off with Max. Not a person. HBO Max's service, which they renamed to just Max and made a second app and just made it so much more.
And it's like their fifth name change in like 10 years because they had HBO Go, they had HBO just the regular app. Then it was HBO Max. Now it's Max. Like, what's the marketing strategy there? Like, I would love to be in the fly in the room for that.
Also, I got to bring this up. Ken Jack, you're a Roku guy too, right? Like you use Roku.
Unfortunately,
I use Roku.
Okay. The Max app does not work nearly as well for me as the HBO Max app. The HBO Max app, people used to complain about it. Never had a problem with it on Roku. The Max app, it's nonstop. It'll just I'll pause and then I'll press play again. It'll just go back to the start of an episode.
Oh, it'll go back.
Yeah. That's a huge problem.
I'm rewatching The Sopranos right now, and there was a scene in a recent episode in season 6 where AJ was in therapy, and I hit play again, and the scene played, and I go, man, what a weird episode. They just kept repeating scenes. I go, what the fuck? It rewound the whole episode. I was like, that's crazy. I was like, I don't remember that. So they've decided that they're going to test a feature. HBO Max, HBO, Warner Brothers, whatever, Warner Discovery. They made the whole new company. They own CNN. They are going to test a feature that gives you CNN news alerts while you're watching content. So yes, if you're watching Sopranos, for example, if you're watching Curb Your Enthusiasm, or if you're watching Silicon Valley or a movie, I don't know, The Flash, whatever kid show that is Sesame Street, it could have a thing up there. It's like X candidate and drops out of race. Like you could see news alerts. That's fucking the stupidest thing there's a lot of dumb shit with streaming platforms. I think this is the dumbest. This is the dumbest thing that I've ever seen in terms of streaming platforms, right? Like, I don't think that's an exaggeration.
It's a big misunderstanding of the audience of who's streaming. You know what I mean? Like, if this was if in 40 years, right, when we're all old, then that makes sense, right? And if we're not on social media for whatever reason, then it makes sense. But for the audience of streamers, I don't get it.
Also, it's just a complete misunderstanding of why people watch movies and don't watch. People watch movies and television to escape. They don't want you don't want to hear about fucking Mitch McConnell having a seizure at the podium today.
We're talking about CNN, the most willy-nilly use of breaking news in the world. It is. I mean, it could be. I can't even think of an example because any example works for CNN breaking news. It could be fucking anything. It's just nuts. You know what is a news story that I'd be okay with them breaking in? Balloon Boy from back in 2009 when the kid got trapped in a balloon.
It's funny enough. Any news that's breaking that's funny enough, sure.
Yeah, there should be a judge behind the scenes. All right, this is good enough. You're gonna want to pause Batman '89 to watch Balloon Boy, but no, it's not.
The OJ chase is happening. If this is 94 or whatever, sure, tune me in, but I don't want a notification because Mitch McConnell took a dump on stage,
And now you're going to have an old person watching something on Max. It's going to pop up. They're going to be like, what the heck is this? This was part of the movie. Oh. So we made our examples of what would be the funniest or worst thing to pop up during a movie or show. I feel like you guys probably have better ones. So I'll just do mine first. I said if you're watching, I used JFK as an example. You're watching JFK and RFK Jr. says he can kick the ass of President Biden. You just get a news alert about someone in the family.
He probably could.
That's a real thing he has said. He has said that. Husband of Cheryl Hines from Curb. Larry David introduced them.
I'll show mine since you guys have already seen it, but just This would be the funniest because I feel like this is in the realm of possibility. Just The Rock running for president and you getting that notification. Like and it could be Black Adam. It could be Rampage. Rampage is on Max right now. You're watching him fight with a big white gorilla.
Yeah.
Another one that could be funny would just be Ezra Miller. I didn't have time to make it, but you're watching The Flash and you just get a notification. Ezra Miller arrested on multiple gun charges, attempted homicide. Oh, gosh.
All right, Ken Jack, fire it up. What's yours?
This is my one.
That would take me out of the movie.
Yeah, I would tune in for this one.
You would want to know that, though. You would want to know this one with the Emperor. Yeah.
The only caveat is when the little news notification pops across the bottom, I want the dying Yoda noise from the
from Lego Star Wars.
Crazy fucking news that Max even remotely. I get like if you're on the main menu. I get if you're watching maybe something related to CNN. Like there's reasons and ways that I could see that actually making sense integration wise. But like, fucking insane. I don't even like when I'm watching like NFL Sunday Ticket and they pop up like, Golden Tate makes sick cat. Like get that out of I don't even like that shit. Like that's not even worth it.
The ticker thing at the bottom of the screen, just being like, "Yeah, this score is 50 to 20."
To that extent, you used to be able to do fantasy. I think you still can fantasy football notifications on Sunday Ticket, and I haven't edited my team on that in like 10 years. So I'm still getting like the guys who are still in the league that I had in those games will get notifications. So crazy news from Max. Speaking of a streamer, great trailer. Well, great news. I don't know about great trailer. I think Gooch didn't love the trailer. David Fincher coming out with a new movie. We've known about this for a while. The Netflix poster was released earlier in the week. That usually means Netflix will release a trailer, and they did. It's called The Killer, a psychological action thriller after a fatal near miss. An assassin battles his employers and himself on an international manhunt he insists isn't personal. Michael Fassbender plays the nameless character, The Killer. Arliss Howard, Charles Purnell, who we've actually interviewed, Tilda Swinton among those involved. Fincher hasn't done
O.J. Simpson's looking for him, right?
Yeah. Yep. If I did it. Exactly. Hasn't done a movie since Mank 3 years ago, which was his first movie in 6 years. But Mank was a project that he picked up. Obviously, his late father. He picked up that script and everything. It wasn't exactly like the most Fincher-y thing ever made. I liked Mank more over time, but it's not like Gone Girl or Dragon Tattoo. Right. Social Network. Benjamin, but you go on and on. Fincher's filmography is unbelievable. So really his first kind of original, or I know Gone Girl wasn't original, first movie of this style since 2014, 9 years. And it comes with this trailer, which, I mean, Atticus Ross, Trent Reznor, they're back with the music. It just looks and feels like Fincher. I'm so fucking excited. This comes out in theaters and then on Netflix November 10th, after in theaters for I think 2 weeks in October.
Yeah, I think that if you were to ever label someone as like the god of the psychological thriller, it's Fincher, like the modern one at least. Because like Gone Girl, Zodiac, Seven, you can even include Fight Club underneath that, even though it's more of a comedy. Like The Game, amazing. Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. Like these are all movies like that are incredible, and that's his wheelhouse. Like to your point about Mank, this is a 100% his wheelhouse that he has defined, which that automatically should excite you about anything that he makes in this genre. And then like the trailer is weird for sure, but I think something you need to take into account with it is the fact that it's based on like an old comic or like a French comic. And like anytime you do anything based off a comic or graphic novel, you need some sort of stylization to like get you into that world. And I think like when I saw the trailer, or first saw the trailer, because I didn't know it was based on anything, I was like, oh, this is a little weird. This is like turn of the 90s into 2000s sort of like quick cut, like shoot action. Like that isn't totally my jam anymore. But then like you read about it more and I'm like, oh, like this is stylized to be like this on purpose. And I'm sure that like that's not going to be the full length of the movie, what it's going to feel like.
Yeah, no, that is my complaint is it's like, it gave me a damn seizure watching that trailer. I love the music. And like, if you go frame by frame, I love the way it looks. Like, I don't think anyone does digital better than Fincher. Like he's so good at making digital look like film. Like it's unbelievable. And And then of course, like the wardrobes I'm obsessed with that. Like that is going to be, that's going to be one of those characters that everyone is going to be like, oh, it's me. It's literally me. Happy to see Fassbender back in, and actually probably it's going to, I'm
hopefully a good movie.
It's been so long.
If the movie's bad, it's not going to be Fincher's fault. We're going to
if it's bad, there's a curse. Fassbender's cursed at this point. That's just how it is.
Dude,
yes.
I did a full breakdown of it on the blog too. Like the movies that he's made since Jobs and getting nominated for an Oscar, and that obviously Alien Covenant, which I think is the best of the bunch that he's done since then, which is a low bar.
Where he plays Francis.
Yeah, exactly. X-Men Dark Phoenix, Song to Song, X-Men Apocalypse, The Light Between Oceans, Trespass Against Us, Assassin's Creed, which Assassin's Creed might be one of the worst movies ever made. One of the worst video game adaptations by far, but one of the worst movies. And then The Snowman. The Snowman, which is one of the worst movies ever made. Harry Hole. Jesus, dude.
Harry Hole.
Can't ever forget Harry Hole. So yeah, hopefully this is the return to form for him.
Yeah. And he does have that Taika movie coming up, but like there's no hype for it. And there's a stink on that movie where it's like been sitting on the shelf for like 4 years, I think.
Yeah. Next Skull wins. Right?
Also, make sure to like and subscribe on this channel. As always, helps us out. You hit a like, hit a subscribe. Mm-hmm. There is actually a good YouTube channel called Studio Binder as well, and they go into a lot of like breaking down directors and stuff, and you can see that just classic Fincher touch here. He loves using the color green. He always talks about how the color green escaped kind of movies and TV in the 80s and 90s. He hates using the color red unless it's used for like a distinct distraction, I believe is what he said. That's why like the red dress and Curious Case of Benjamin Button and all that. So his use of color is as fucking incredible as anybody. And it's just a stamp. It's like, you know, for symmetrical stuff is Wes Anderson, like this type of desaturation and color, not to get all nerdy here with Fincher, is like why his stuff stands out and just looks so unique and awesome. Ferrari, no, not Ford versus Ferrari. We obviously had that movie come out a few years ago. Now we have another Ferrari movie, though this one more focused on Enzo Ferrari, played by Adam Driver, Penelope Cruz in the movie, Shailene Woodley, Gabrielle Leone, Patrick Dempsey. It is about car manufacturer, the Italian founder, Enzo Ferrari and Ferrari, directed by Michael Mann. And really funny part of the trailer, too, it's like from the creator of what do they use? They used Heat and Last Mohican, two movies from 30 plus years ago.
Yeah.
But he really like hasn't done like a ton of really relevant big time stuff since then. He did Public Enemies, which was not great, the Miami Vice movie, but we love Collateral. We talked about it on our podcast week. Love Collateral, Ali, and then you go back, Heat, Mohicans, Manhunter, Thief.
And you can't forget that Nike commercial he directed with Sean Merriman and Steven Jackson, one of the coolest commercials ever made.
He did he did do a great Nike commercial. But Ford versus Ferrari, not Ford versus Ferrari, just Ferrari. Very interesting trailer. This movie comes out in theaters Christmas, I believe, from Neon, who puts out some great films. But interesting trailer, zero dialogue in the trailer until the end comment from Enzo Ferrari. It's just the revving of an engine, the driving of a car. I think it's a pretty cool teaser trailer.
Great trailer. This is like, I think, one of my favorite trailers of the entire year, regardless if the movie turns out good or bad. I was watching this and I was like, this is a movie. That's movie, baby. to quote our boy Harry Styles. It's just fucking. I'm so excited for this. And like even looking at the history of this movie, the man has wanted to do this since like 2000 or something. He actually signed on, I think, Christian Bale to do it in like 2015, but scheduling messed up. I think that there's two things that like should stand out, right? Where Ford v Ferrari is a massive success. So I think having that and a sort of base of knowledge into this semi-period helps a lot now, building up hype into it. And just Michael Mann and Adam Driver. Adam Driver, one of the better actors working right now. Michael Mann, the dude rocks. He does dudes rock better than anybody on earth. Yep. And I think Heat is the best example of that. Obviously, this is going to say not just a dude movie, but I'm super pumped for it. As someone that, again, when we talked about Gran Turismo, I'm not big into racing or any of that shit, really, but I'm just excited as fuck to watch this. It looked practical. All the effects were amazing, by the way. All those, like the practical that we saw, looked great.
Yeah, I love that opening shot with like the fisheye lens on it, where the car is just speeding straight down like a countryside road. That was amazing. Yeah, I love this trailer or teaser, whatever you want to call it. Just the revving of the engine, like I can't wait to see this in a theater. Hear that going? That's going to be incredible.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm with you. I'm not a car guy like at all. But I think this is going to be way more focused on the man behind the car versus like the actual racing. which I'm excited for. Adam Driver back in the Italian game. He just loves doing
Italians
this.
in this cast.
He does. Awesome. He is going to play all like Tom Hanks plays all the famous white Americans. Adam Driver's going to play all the famous Italians. Like that's going to be his new thing.
This lanky guy from Indiana.
All the main cast being non-Italians is hilarious too. It's Adam Driver, Shailene Woodley, Penelope Cruz, Patrick Dempsey, Jack O'Connell. They got two of the most Irish names you could possibly have playing Italians. Oh wait, no, they're going to play. So many
Europeans play great Americans. It's good. That's good. Yeah. We knew a good win for American cinema.
Exactly.
It's like final note. This is confirmed a prequel to Gran Turismo, the movie that just came out last month. So that is worth cutting down there. Fantastic sports movie. Last but not least, Saltburn. This is the one I was talking about. Emerald Fennell directing this. She did Promising Young Woman, has really burst onto the scene. She gets this directorial job, also writing it. Dynamite cast in this one. Struggling to find his place at Oxford University, Oliver Quick, played by Barry Keoghan, finds himself drawn into the world of charming and aristocratic Felix Catton, played by Jacob Elordi, who is out of the Netflix world for once. And for, I guess, HBO, you could talk about Euphoria as well, who invites him to Saltburn, his eccentric family's sprawling estate for a summer never to be forgotten. Barry Keoghan, Jacob Elordi, Rosamund Pike, Richard E. Grant, Carey Mulligan, who was in Promising Young Woman. I didn't know Emerald Fennell was writing Ballerina. I didn't realize that. The John Wick spinoff with Ana de Armas. I guess I missed that. This looked very artsy and also just kind of reminded me of that corny movie that came out, Red, White, and Royal Blue on Amazon Prime.
Oh, yeah.
Not exactly the same thing. Little seems like darker, more intense. But that was a pretty good trailer.
Yeah, I mean, cast is great, and Fennell, I think, crushed Promising Young Woman. So I think that you can't, even if I'm not like engrossed by the subject matter, which I'm really not, just based off the trailer. Like I'm just like I have full faith in both cast and director. So instant near the top of the watch list.
I'll be honest, this is my favorite of the three. Like I really like this. I really can't get a vibe off like what this is. This romance? Is this like? What are they doing here? Is this a thriller? Couldn't get a vibe, and I kind of like that.
It is. I couldn't really figure out what this what the energy was here, which has kind of made it even more interesting to me.
It feels like a huge swing, where like if she connects, it's going to be a massive success that I think people will really love, and if she misses, she's going to miss hard here because
it has obviously a very modern touch. It was interesting because Emerald Fennell is like all her stuff is really like her acting at least is all period shit. Like she just played Camilla Parker Bowles in The Crown. She was in Albert Nobbs, Anna Karenina, Danish Girl. So she's been in all these like random like kind of period things. Now it's obviously like a royal spin or feel to it. Very British. So she's from London, obviously.
I'm pretty sure she signed on to direct. Let me double check this. A movie for DC too. Unless that changed.
She really?
I think she's supposed to do Zatanna. I could be wrong on that. Interesting, but
I like her style, I like her vision. So I do think. I mean, Promising Young Woman I thought was great. So
yeah, her Killing Eve was good too for the first couple seasons.
Yeah, I liked the first season and it just kind of slowly fell away.
Killing Eve is a feels like a movie. I guess it wasn't. It feels like a show that definitely gets promoted very heavily before a movie during Noovie. When you're sitting down eating your popcorn. Those are the three trailers. Check them out. What I'm about to say at the end here is I forgot we even talked about it. Saltburn, The Killer, and Ferrari. And then, of course, I guess Max going to just give you fucking news notifications while you're watching your content trying to escape. Lovely. As always, like and subscribe. Helps us out on the channel here. Like the video, subscribe. We'll be back when we get more news, reviews, draft rankings, and more for Ken, Jack, and Gooch. I'm Jeff DeLille. We'll talk to you next time.